Hello, it's Phil Thatch at SEC Football Forecast, and I'm coming at you today with another preseason quick picks video. We're going to do one of these for all 14 teams in the Southeastern Conference, but today we're focusing on the reigning national champion Georgia Bulldogs. But first, let's take a look at their schedule from last year and see how they did. What an amazing year. They were 15-0 overall, 8-0 in the Southeastern Conference. That's during the regular season, and then they won the Southeastern Conference Championship against LSU. Most of these games were really easy for the Georgia Bulldogs, but unexpectedly they had trouble at Missouri, where they only won by 4. Later, in a playoff game against Ohio State, they only won that one by 1, but the actual national championship game against the TCU Horned Frogs was an absolute blowout, 65-7. Here's a look at their 2023 schedule. It looks like they're going to have 4 straight home games to open the season at Dooley Field at Sanford Stadium in Athens, Georgia. And let me tell you, this place is loud from a crowd point of view, and it is absolutely deafening from a public address system point of view. The first of those home games is against UT Martin. That should be a piece of cake for the Bulldogs, and they are now 1-0. In week 2, it's Ball State coming to Athens, and they're going to get crushed. In week 3, it's a conference game at home against South Carolina. Now, last year in South Carolina, Georgia beat them by 41 points. And while I still think Georgia will win this ball game, I don't think it's going to be a blowout this time. But if you really want to see a blowout, you only have to wait a week, because UAB comes to town and they'll probably lose by 5 or more touchdowns in Athens. It's a road game in week 5 as the Georgia Bulldogs head to Auburn to face the Tigers at beautiful Jordan-Hare Stadium. This game is known as the Deep South's oldest rivalry, and Jordan-Hare is a tough place to play, but I still think the Bulldogs will win fairly easily. The Bulldogs are back in Athens for week 6 as they face a conference opponent, the Kentucky Wildcats. Last year, Kentucky only lost by 10, but that was in Kentucky. This year, I think they lose by at least 2 touchdowns. And just like that, the Bulldogs are 6-0, bowl eligible as they travel to Nashville, Tennessee for an easy conference game on the road against the Vanderbilt Commodores. They'll win this one for sure. Georgia gets a bye week to rest up for the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. This is played at a neutral site where the Jacksonville Jaguars play. They face the Florida Gators, and I think Florida is going to be really struggling this year. I see the Bulldogs having no trouble at all in this classic game. It's a conference game at home against Missouri in week 10, and if you remember last year at Missouri, Georgia had a little bit of trouble, so I'm sure Kirby Smart's going to have his team fully ready for this one. They won't take them for granted this year. It's a home game against Ole Miss next on the schedule, and you know, the Bulldogs might be looking ahead to the week after this, but I'm sure Kirby will have them prepared. I think this game will be closer than many people think, but I think the Dogs will win. If you want to see the Georgia Bulldogs take a conference loss, Neyland Stadium might be the place where it could happen. This place is going to be so loud and so packed and so excited for this ball game. It's going to be really something. And as strong as Tennessee is going to be this year, I still think the Dogs will find a way to win in that hostile environment. And now in the last week of the season, the Bulldogs head to Atlanta, Georgia to face the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. This is a rivalry that's called clean, old-fashioned hate. I think the Dogs will win. So there you have it. It's my preseason quick picks for the Georgia Bulldogs in 2023. I've got them undefeated, 12-0 overall and 8-0 in conference play. I think really their only chances to lose a game this year in the regular season is when they're on the road at Auburn, but I don't think Auburn's going to be very good. Their biggest chance is when they're on the road at Tennessee, and Tennessee will be pretty good this year, I think, but I think Georgia is just going to be too strong. In fact, I think the Bulldogs could go on to win their 3rd national championship in a row. I don't think anyone in the Southeastern Conference can stop them. Maybe Ohio State has a chance. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think I got this right? Do you think I got it wrong? I'd love to hear from you. Be sure to take a moment and reach down and hit the thumbs up button. That really helps me out. And if you want to see some more of these quick picks videos, make sure and subscribe and hit the notification bell. That's going to do it for this week. Thanks for watching. So long from SEC Football Forecast.